Do you ever find yourself staring at a blank page, knowing you have a deadline, but you just can't start? You check your phone, tie to your desk, make another cup of coffee, anything to avoid the task at hand? What if I told you this isn't about being lazy? It's a complex psychological battle happening inside your brain, and today, we're going to expose what's really going on. By the end of this video, you will not only understand why you procrastinate, but also learn some surprisingly simple tricks to finally break the cycle. So, let's get one thing straight. Procrastination isn't a character flaw. It's a coping mechanism. When we face a task that makes us feel anxious, bored, insecure, or overwhelmed, our brain's emotional center, the amygdala, flags it as a threat. It's like a little alarm bell going off. In response, our brain wants to protect us from these negative feelings. And what's the quickest way to feel better? Avoid the source of the stress. Ow. So you switch to watching a funny cat video. Instant relief. Your brain gets a little hit of dopamine, the feel-good chemical. This creates a vicious cycle. Task equals bad feeling. Avoidance equals good feeling. Your brain learns this pattern and defaults to it every time you face something unpleasant. But here's the tricky part. That short-term relief comes at a huge long-term cost. We're not just talking about missed deadlines or rushed work. Procrastination takes a massive toll on our mental health. The constant stress of knowing you have something hanging over your head leads to chronic anxiety. Start feeling guilty, ashamed, and your self-esteem takes a nosedive. You might tell yourself things like, "I'm so lazy," or "I'm just not good enough." This internal monologue is incredibly damaging. Studies have shown a strong link between chronic procrastination and higher levels of stress, anxiety, and even depression. It's a heavy burden to carry, and it quietly eats away at your well-being day after day. It affects your sleep, your relationships, and your overall happiness. So what are these psychological triggers that set off the procrastination alarm? There are a few common culprits. First, there's fear of failure. If you're scared you won't do a good job, it's easier to not start at all. That way you can't fail, right? Another one is perfectionism. You want the result to be so flawless that the thought of starting becomes paralyzing. You wait for the perfect moment or the perfect idea, which, let's be honest, rarely comes. Then there's the task itself. If it's boring, tedious, or lacks personal meaning, your brain will fight you every step of the way. And finally, there's ambiguity. If a task is too big or the instructions are unclear, like write a research paper, your brain doesn't know where to begin and just shuts down. Recognizing which of these triggers affects you most is the first step toward taking back control. Okay, enough about the problem. Let's talk solutions. How do we stop delaying and start doing? I'm going to share some proven strategies that work. First, break it down. That huge, scary task. Chop it into tiny, manageable pieces. Instead of clean the entire house, start with put away the dishes on the counter. Each small win gives you a little dopamine boost, motivating you to do the next tiny thing. This is how you build momentum. Second, use the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately. Answering that email, taking out the trash, making your bed. This clears your mental clutter and builds a habit of action. It's surprisingly powerful. Another fantastic technique is temptation bundling. This is where you pair an activity you enjoy with a task you've been avoiding. For example, you only allow yourself to listen to your favorite podcast while you're exercising. Or you can only watch your favorite Netflix show while you're folding laundry. This makes the dreaded task more appealing because it's linked to something you love. It's like tricking your brain into wanting to do the work. And here's a big one. Practice self-compassion. When you do procrastinate, don't beat yourself up. Remember, it's a natural human response, not a sign of weakness. Forgiving yourself for past procrastination actually makes you less likely to do it in the future. The guilt and shame just add to the negative feelings associated with the task, making you want to avoid it even more. Let's go a bit deeper into the psychology of getting things done. One powerful concept is understanding your future self. Often we procrastinate because we see our future self as a stranger. We think, oh, future me will have more energy and motivation to deal with this. But future you is still you. To combat this, try to connect with your future self. Write a letter to yourself a week from now, describing how relieved and proud you'll feel once this task is done. Visualize the positive outcomes. This makes the future rewards feel more real and immediate, giving you the motivation you need right now. It bridges the gap between the present pain of starting and the future gain of finishing. Have you ever noticed that you get a sudden burst of energy to clean your entire apartment right before a big exam? This is called productive procrastination. You're still avoiding the main task, but you're doing other useful things. While it feels productive, it's still a form of avoidance. The key is to channel that energy correctly. When you feel that urge to do something else, pause. Acknowledge it. Then commit to working on your most important task for just 5 or 10 minutes. Use a timer. Tell yourself after 10 minutes, I can go organize my bookshelf if I still want to. More often than not, once you start, you'll find it's not as bad as you thought, and you'll keep going. Getting over that initial hurdle is everything. Let's discuss the environment. Your surroundings play a huge role in your ability to focus. If your phone is buzzing with notifications right next to you, you're setting yourself up for failure. Create a distraction-free zone. Put your phone in another room or use an app that blocks distracting websites for a set period. Make your workspace dedicated to just work. This sends a clear signal to your brain. When I'm here, I'm focused. Also, think about your energy levels. Are you a morning person or a night owl? Schedule your most challenging tasks for when you have the most mental energy. Trying to force yourself to do difficult work when you're already tired is a recipe for procrastination. Work with your natural rhythms, not against them. We've covered a lot of ground today. From the deep psychological roots of procrastination to practical, actionable strategies you can start using right now. We've learned that it's not about laziness, but an emotional regulation problem. We've seen how it damages our mental health through stress and guilt. And most importantly, we've discovered powerful tools like breaking down tasks, the 2-minute rule, temptation bundling, and self-compassion. I'm curious, which procrastination trigger resonates with you the most? Is it fear of failure, perfectionism, or something else? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. Sharing our experiences can help us all feel less alone in this struggle. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more content on psychology and self-improvement. But here's one final thought to leave you with. All these strategies are tools, but what powers them all is a shift in mindset. It's about deciding that your long-term well-being is more important than short-term comfort. It's a journey, not a destination. But what if I told you there's one core emotion that underlies almost all procrastination, and it's not what you think? It's something we rarely talk about, and understanding it could be the ultimate key to unlocking your productivity. We'll explore that next time. Thanks for watching.